Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild and I have to say hello to a lot of people. I am absolutely speechless about the amount of people that recently joined the channel, and it seems a lot of them came for Space Engineers. I'm not absolutely sure. It could be other games, but Space Engineers seems to be on a roll for me. That's a good thing. And yeah, welcome to all of you. So, okay, where do we start? This week I want to start building a freighter, or a small freighter, to go around and bring material from the moon, or mostly from my asteroid mining base, to the planet here, because this planet really is lacking materials. I saw that when I did all this. We will go over this in a second, and then then we can start with the freighter. So I've finally built one of the nanite factories here on the planet and started to move stuff. You can see I have moved most of the stuff from down there to up here. I built a big container. I started to finish the wall I've built around this base. I've set up some guns. They don't have ammunition right now because there's no materials for ammunition. And then I started to build a platform for us. So at the moment I'm playing in the stable version of Space Engineers. I'm not sure if I want to switch to the dev versions, because I'm in big fear of losing this world if I do, and I don't want to at the moment. I have some issues where sometimes the game kind of hangs up. So, stuttering, you would say, but it is Space Engineers. We cannot do a lot about that. I have the feeling. So the nanite factory went to work and finished all this stuff. So the staircases and all that stuff. I have a reactor down there. I might have to move that later, because if we ever start to implement the cyber dogs, or if we whatsoever do something like that, this might get damaged. And I'm not sure how the cyber dogs work. I know that they explode, and I don't know if they search out systems to explode on. I'm not sure. So I didn't test the guns. I hope that they can shoot at least a bit down, so that if cyber dogs spawn around the area, they kill them. On the other hand, it could also happen that the cyber dogs just spawn inside the base and attack me. These enemies are not really well thought out at the moment. They're just there. Good. What I want to do is, I decided for a small freighter. So we go and grab some materials. I have some steel plates here. I don't know if that is enough. I decided for a small freighter. I had some discussions in the comments about that, and the argument for it was a small freighter is better to handle, and I should go what I said. Basically, I think Wolfing did that. Nice to hear from you, by the way. And he said basically what I said. The mining operation I'm running is not so big that I really need a massive freighter. So That's right. My mining operation is relatively small, and the amount of material I can transport in cargoes is really high. So let me open this. It's really high, and so I don't need to set up a big ship there. So a small ship it is. We will go. We will go and set up a small ship, but I need construction components. On the planet here, the working with the nanite factory was a pain, I can say, because this thing is massive, needs a lot of materials and yeah, very different ingots and all that stuff. That's not too nice. The energy requirements for these things are, especially when you upgrade them, very high, and it's it was the work of a few hours that I've put in here to finally get that done. So bringing in materials from the asteroid base and wherever I had the materials to do that, you need basically all the ingots. I think you don't need magnesium, but you need cobalt, gold, silver, whatsoever. And I noticed some weird problems, and I don't know where they come from. It could be that I am responsible for that, or a mod that I have, or something like that. I don't know. Okay, let me go up and do this. I want to see if we can have a repair beacon on that. Yes, we can. I have put down a repair beacon on the rabbit there, so that we can radio communication, small C-chips computer. So that, don't know, if the rabbit is close to something, to a nanite factory, it can, don't know, be repaired. I should do that for the transport ship down there too. So we could use this ship to go and find materials for us. I want to build another one to do that. This getting around here is is not nice. We might also want to set up get this, and maybe I should also get some interior plates done. Let me just fix some of these, give me 10 of these, and then just produce some components. The rest should be done by the nanite factory itself. I hope you can't hear the noises in the microphone. I will have to turn down my sound here. Okay. I need just one of these. Give me that. What we could do is set up a container somewhere close to the building site, and then we use that to order our stuff. Maybe that would be nice. Good. Build this. And now the nanites take over. I will have to turn them off in a second, so that I can build without them interfering too much. And I will have to move this thing somewhere else later. Good. What we have to decide kind of is if we want to also transport components with the ship, because components are bigger than the ingots. The ingots just use the normal or small conveyors. I will turn it off now. It's nice that you are trying, but at the moment I want to just work on it. So the components need the bigger conveyors to go through and get, yeah, basically put into inventories and all that stuff. And the ingots just need small stuff. But on the other hand, sorry, that is my chair. So the components would need the bigger conveyors. We can take a look at that. Conveyors. So would need these ones for small ships. The ingots go through the small conveyors. And setting up this whole deal is not too nice because what did I want to say? Yeah, because the cargo containers and all that stuff. Let me grab some of these. The cargo containers, mainly the medium-sized cargo containers that I want to use, have sides. So you can see that you have on the side a small port, and on the other side the big port. Problem is you can turn them. If I, for example, want to have what was that? Oh, I don't have hydrogen anymore. So if I want to turn that, I run into the problem that now I have only small tubes to whoopsie. I'm smacking my microphone around here. I have only small tubes to connect to the containers, basically. I want to set up one conveyor or one of the cargo containers that way, so I can have a connection. You can see the hole there on the left side, so I can have a connection to the base from the container or the conveyor. But then I lose the connection to the big connections. So it's a bit problematic to set that up. If I had a conveyor block, let me see if the conveyor block for the small, this one has more sides, so we could go and set this one up so that we could use I will use this one basically to place plate. Give me a sec, I will have to set that up now. I'm against the word stable when it comes to these releases. At least that's stable. I hope it is at least that stable that my world doesn't get corrupted. But I have constant graphics issues and all that stuff. And I'm not a big fan of that because I tried the most to get rid of that and to reduce graphics problems where I can, updating drivers and all that stuff, just to be able to play Space Engineers. So this let me take a look at the underside of this. I'm using these blocks so I could do that. I didn't think about these conveyors. I should have thought about them, but I didn't. So I will be able to transport components too if I want. So I could produce or I could bring in a production center at one point. So we will use 4 cargo containers. And on the bottom side of this will be a connector. I hope that this connector is far away. Let us go and be safe. There is a problem with the connectors. I have to really set up the connectors in the right way, otherwise they grab too hard, pull the ship towards them, and then there could be damage. And I don't want this ship to get destroyed by... I don't want this ship to get destroyed by freak accidents. I want to, when it gets destroyed, then don't know, because I did something wrong. And setting up all the conveyors all the time and keeping track of that might be impossible. So I will keep the connector a bit away from the ship itself and use some of these stand-ins. How are they called? Is there a word for it? Wheel suspension. That's not what this is. So where's the conveyor frame? Okay, this works out. This will have to go, and I need some connections to other things. So what we don't need here is connections to things to throw out stone or something like that, so we don't need that. Having a nice placement for a cockpit would be cool. The problem is, where do we place it? On top? On the side? I had a freighter in my last world where it basically was on the side, and on the other side was a connector, so it could basically dock to the front. We could do that here too, but I'm not too sure how we might want that. I'm normally trying to go for asymmetric structures, or asymmetric structures. Let's say it that way, are cool for me. So we will go for a side-mounted cockpit, and then we add... okay, we can add some power production and all that stuff behind the cockpit. So what I will do is set up... I want to get the conveyors back. We tap this and get the small conveyors going. Some of these, and set up this. The entry points should be here. This will be basically be the backbone of the ship, so the middle. And then we know that's wrong. This is one of the parts I really like, figuring out the stuff. And the fun part is that the nanite factory really makes stuff like this a breeze, because now you can just build, get it finished, and then just see what you have done there. Do we want the fighter cockpit? I like the fighter cockpit, so having it here would be nice. Come on, this is not needed. We will need a lot of thrusters here, because Okay, I need to go even further. This can be removed later. That's what I want to do, remove it later. But I want to have it here to not lose all the ability to look to the left side. So okay. We will mount thrusters and all that stuff on the sides of the ship. So we have some big thrusters on the back. I want to bring in a big reactor. Someone came and said I should bring in azimuth and use the reactors from azimuth. Just to say, I have azimuth, I have the reactors. I don't see the difference. They seem to be better, but they take a lot more materials, and I tend to go with the vanilla blocks and use mods for things like this, or the beam drills or something like this. So I will take a look at that and maybe see how I want to integrate them into what I'm building. Okay, what could we put behind this? Maybe let us finish how it is looking right now. I don't know how much energy I need, and I want to bring in, at least for the hover engines, I want to bring in some of the atmospheric thrusters. So these, I think, take a lot of energy. We need to take a look at that. This is still a problem, that it sets the Nanite Factory sets everything to owner to nobody, or some of it, because yeah, you didn't weld that. Okay, Nanite Control Factory. Let us finish what we have here. And then I also need some landing legs. And this could be a problem, having it mounted on the side. I need to see how the GPS can cope with it. If something is on the side, if the GPS can be this precise that it can land, it even when it is pushed to the side. Maybe we need to put the remote control somewhere here so that the GPS coordinates can be more precise or something like that. I don't know. There's a script out there, an auto docking script and all that stuff. I don't like to use scripts. I want to see if the GPS can be enough for us to produce this thing. And now the sun is going down. This is so bad. Okay, where are the connections? Okay, the connections, big connections on the back. So we could put in more containers. I might want these containers to also transport components, if we ever do that. And then I will add some containers back here that can only transport ores if needed. We connect the cockpit up with some of the frames to the containers, so we can also put in life support or something like that. This might be neat. We will see. I think that's all for today. I'm running long and I don't normally do that. So I would say we meet us back on Wednesday, and then I might frame out a bit more of this in the meantime.